Okay, all right, so we're talking about hand poses tonight. Mostly because the hands really do tell us a lot about the character. They can tell us about the emotion of the character. They can tell us about what they're holding, uh, how they feel about what they're holding. It can tell you the strength of the character. It can tell you, the grip, their strength, the emotional state of the character. There's a lot you can learn from just looking at the hands. Um, you can figure out a lot just by a shot of hands. There's a lot of photography of just the hands. It can be very emotional sometimes. So you can tell that there's some pretty intense emotions going on here between the interlocking of these two hands. And for our assignments, we've been focusing on weight lately, and so I want to point out ways that we can show weight within the pose. All right, so firm and loose grips. A firm grip, like this one here, there's going to be like no negative space. One, it's describing the object that it's holding. The hands are, the thumb is working in concert with the other fingers. It's wrapped around, just like these fingers are wrapped around. Flow to the knuckles, right? We're getting some tension here in the wrist. It's a little hard to see, but we're getting a nice tight fist. Even breaking these up, they're not lining up exactly, but there's a flow to it. Nice, strong, solid grip. No negative space. That's kind of the key here. Very key. And I want you to look at this. Okay, so look at her grip onto here. She's going to try to pull herself up. She's going to have a hard time doing that. You can tell how frail she is, mostly because of this right here. See all that negative space in the grip? Same kind of thing, wrapping her fingers around. Good hand pose. There's some flow to it. The thumb is actually not working too well with this. I mean, it is underneath, so it would wrap around if it could, but she has all this negative space here. There's no tension at all through the rest. So you can tell by the way that she's grabbing this that she doesn't have a very firm grip. So if you were animating a character that was a little more frail and didn't have a strong grip, make sure that there is some negative space. But counter that, if your characters are trying to pick up something heavy and you're trying to show that your character can pick it up because eventually they do, you don't want this. You want to make sure that there's no negative space in there in the hand pose. Make a full contact with what they're picking up. It's going to be a stronger hand pose. It's going to make your character feel stronger. It's going to make it feel like they actually have a solid grip on this thing. It also tells a lot about the weight of an object. All right, cup of water, right? Not that heavy, not too bad. Look at all this negative space here. A light grip with the fingers, almost like I'm holding my pen here. Do I need to grip my pen like this? No. I can hold it like this. I'm describing to the audience how heavy the object is. Well, it's not very heavy. I can hold it with my fingers. Same thing here with this glass of water. Not very heavy at all. I can hold it with a lot of negative space. If it was something heavy, or I needed a firmer grip on it, like this hammer here, no negative space whatsoever. Everything is in contact with this hammer. Every finger is touching, the thumb is wrapped around, really tight, fingers are wrapped around. It's a heavier object. And as you guys know, when I go over your assignments, I'm always like, pose the hands earlier. I'm a big advocate of getting in there earlier, especially if you're doing weight assignment, you're picking something up. You really need to know how they're grabbing it, especially if you're going to parent that stuff later. And so get that hand pose right from the start, and then that's going to save you a lot of time and stress later.